When you start an adventure, you expect the unexpected.
An opportunity to experience the wonder of seeing things far beyond our wildest imagination.
The beauty of nature that leaves us awestruck and captivated.
The most perfect artwork coming to life right before our very eyes.
Like many of you, Charlene and I have fond memories taking long road trips with our families as kids.
Princess Lena, are we ready to go on the trip?
When planning our Wyoming trip, we had to stop and ask, are road trips still relevant today? Come with us as we drive over 1,400 miles across the country from our home in Chicago to Yellowstone National Park and back again.
Everybody's loaded up, we're waiting for Granny Susie. You guys ready to see the...
Mississippi! Mississippi.
Alright, so we made it to our first stop, Sculpture Park here in, what is it, Davenport, Iowa?
Yes.
Kids are already running away.
Of course, every adventure is not without challenges. This one came on the second day of our road trip in the small town of Brayton, Iowa. Population 142.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto 350th Street.
We found our way on a wet, muddy road, a lot more slippery than we anticipated. By the time things got real tricky, we had gone too far to turn back.
Why?
Look at there's a pheasant on that.
Our bumpy ride continued and we all could not wait to reach our destination.
On our gravel road,
My hands are sweaty.
on the final
Funny how a quick,
descent.
fun detour to see a landmark became something far different from what any of us had anticipated.
anticipation's high.
Nonetheless, as Joe would say, this is what great memories are made of, and we were committed to reaching our destination.
Our car approached it slowly. There it was. The tree in the road.
100-foot tall cottonwood tree smack dab in the middle of an intersection.
Just when you think you aren't going to find it, you come over the top of the last hill and a massive treetop begins to emerge directly in front of you. It started as just a walking stick in 1850 and grew into the beautiful tree you see today. After taking some pictures and using a branch to clean off some of the mud that clumped to our car, we very cautiously and thankfully made it back onto the highway.
So believe it or not, I finally found someone that's taller than me.
There's those little feet.
Look at her go. Look at her go. Hey camera, you enjoying the ride? Sit back like this.
Very fun.
As we journeyed onward to the Wild West, our itinerary was filled with landmarks, ice cream, of course, parks and playgrounds for the kids, and a snow-covered trail leading to the Brook Lakes Creek Falls.
So, made it to one of our stops. It's supposed to be a waterfall through there. I mean, I'm down for going in there, but I don't know if anybody else will.
We were both walking in the snow, and we noticed something really big, and we're like, what?
What did you notice was big?
Like, tracks?
You noticed some tracks that are
Yeah.
big. Oh.
And then
I'm like, yeah, those could be, that's my foot. I mean, those are big enough for bear tracks. Went back to the van to grab this, just in case. This snow is super deep. Oh, there we go, I got on top. Oh, no, thank you. I can hear the waterfall, which is good news. I'm heading in the right direction. Gorgeous views. Getting closer. Still trudging through the snow. You can see a little bit of it.
Our highway adventure continued and finally neared our first major destination, the Tetons.
Snow is pretty deep here. Luckily, most of it's melted on the road. They got these little sticks to know where the pavement is.
As the jagged snow-covered peaks began to appear ahead of us, our eyes were glued to the sights outside our car windows.
A real one?
We also didn't expect to spot two grizzly bears casually walking on the side of the road.
our first bears. Show you guys.
There we go.
There they go. They're walking.
Go past them and
We're
get 'em.
keeping our distance.
Let's go past and then
Now Joe's not keeping his distance. Hi, bears.
look at the ones.
Yeah, they're babies.
It was nearing sunset as we pulled up to Oxbow Bend in the Tetons. A view so peaceful yet surreal. My hands were glued to my camera, I couldn't take enough pictures.
By the time we arrived at our cabin, it was completely dark out. After wrestling around with the kids and figuring out the tricky heating situation, we all got some shut-eye to prepare for the adventures of the next day. There is no lights. Let there be lights. What do you guys think? Keep it on. Let's just turn the fan on, please. Or maybe we need the fan on. It's kind of interesting. Come on in. Welcome to the cabin.
I wasn't sure if there was a bathroom or electricity at first.
We woke up to the sound of a tractor and a stunning mountain view above the covered wagons. We decided to get dressed and took a little time to explore the ranch.
Oh my goodness, this is nose ever soft.
Just feeding them hay.
Here.
Say here, horsey.
Carter's got some.
I got breakfast.
Eat first.
Mine.
Mine. Have my breakfast.
We noticed ranch hands stringing out long ropes blocking off the area outside our cabin, and found out that they were about to gather over 100 horses that would be running up from the pasture to the corral.
My car was parked between the two ropes, so I rushed to move it, though they informed me it would be okay. I pulled ahead several feet anyway, better safe than sorry. Ventured out to Schwabacher Landing, a site highly recommended by someone from the ranch.
We strolled slowly along the dirt path, taking in all of our surroundings. What was especially striking was the reflection of the mountains in the calm water.
Happy Mother's Day!
We made our way to the nearby elk preserve. You would think we would see a ton of elk, but all we saw were bighorn sheep, which was incredibly exciting for the kids.
I didn't need my toppers.
Our hunger and curiosity led us to the town of Jackson Hole to explore and enjoy some pizza, including one topped with elk sausage.
In the town square, we got a close-up look at the antler arches. To our amazement, each arch features over 2,000 elk antlers.
With our bellies full and our eyes hungry for sightseeing, we ventured out to see more of what the Tetons had to offer. First stopping at the picturesque Maynard's Ferry Historic District, and then setting off to another big highlight of the day, Jenny's Lake.
Though I was nervous and my legs aren't quite as stable as Joe's, I challenged myself to climb down to the water.
Oh boy. How are you gonna get back up is my question.
The temptation of the stunning views with the mountains reflecting on the water and the chunks of melting ice along the shoreline were enough to give me the courage that I needed. Though, like most challenges in life, I did need a helping hand along the way.
All this shaking from the nervousness is getting to you.
You almost fell too.
Don't worry. What do you think of the view though?
Wow, I'm glad I came down.
Let's feel how cold the water is.
Yep, pretty cool. Carter, what are we waiting on? Horsies. Those guys are gonna come out and go down into the field.
We were so impressed by the horse run earlier in the day that we rushed back to the ranch to watch them gallop off into the pasture for the evening.
Yes.
And they did not disappoint. This time I set up my equipment at the bottom road to get a better view.
take a peek inside the wagon? Let's go. Let's see what's inside this thing. All right. Let's take a peek inside. We gotta unzip. Unzip. Ugh. It's 2 zippers. Another zipper. All right.
So cool for the horses.
I know. This is so cool. That's the wagon that I just... Well, one of the kind of wagons that I just went in.
After the horse run, Charlene and I ventured over to Snake River Overlook, where the famous landscape photographer Ansel Adams once stood. I will have to say the trees have grown quite tall from when Mr. Adams took his iconic shot. We did, however, enjoy a remarkably peaceful sunset to mark the end of our eventful day.
The next day, we sought out the most photographed area in the park, the Mormon Road District, featuring historic cabins and barns set to the backdrop of the majestic mountain range.
Whoa!
It took a lot for me to leave those stunning views. However, we finally made our way to a nearby trail, which was blocked by waist-deep snow that had not yet melted.
There goes Dad's whole leg. Whoa! What in the world?
As we ventured down another path, we spotted a young moose playing hide-and-seek amongst the trees. The next destination on our journey was Yellowstone National Park, which is the place where the bison come out to play.
They can be seen scattered throughout the park. Bison calves are usually born from late March through May and are orange-red in color, earning them the nickname Red Dogs. As we drove through Yellowstone, we couldn't help but notice the hot springs and steam rising up out of the ground beside the roads. An incredible reminder that the majority of Yellowstone is part of an active supervolcano.
Old Faithful, one of the most popular sites in the park, was our first destination. We staked claim to a bench as we watched the steam begin to boil up in anticipation for a huge eruption.
That was it?
Don't go off the diving board.
The area near Old Faithful was filled with so many natural wonders full of bubbling water and steam, interesting textures and colors.
ran through the midst of that geyser over there. It's going off pretty good. I was expecting warm water, but it was cold. Oh, this one's warm. Feels good, nice and steamy.
After walking the boardwalks, we made our way over to the Old Faithful Inn. The Old Faithful Inn is a National Historic Landmark and is the most requested lodging facility in the park. Built around 1903 with local logs and stone, the inn is one of the largest log-style structures in the world.
The inn is the largest log structure in the world.
The Old Faithful Inn.
Unfortunately, we were met with a touch of cold weather and light rain when we arrived at the Grand Prismatic Spring.
The spring is bigger than a football field, measuring at 370 feet in diameter.
Seeing this massive spring was one we had all been looking forward to. Unfortunately, the upper trail was closed and the excessive steam at ground level covered much of this spectacular gem. We did, however, enjoy the warmth of the steam and got some glimpses of the color, helping us to imagine how beautiful it would have looked from above on a clear day.
The rain had cleared, but it seemed like our bad luck had just gotten started when we found out that the road to the Firehole Falls was closed. But that wouldn't stop us. We decided to grab the stroller and our kids who were eager for another adventure. Along the way, we were treated to beautiful views of the river and rocky cliffs.
As we passed by some larger rapids, we wondered if we had already mistakenly passed the falls. After another person on foot who was heading back our way told us they went a bit further and never encountered the waterfall, we were even more confused but decided to move onward. Like many adventures, the best was yet to come, and it certainly was worth the walk. Cameras can't truly capture what it means to be immersed in nature away from the crowds. Get you!
Who threw that snowball at me?
Me!
You?
I did 2 snowballs.
Two snowballs at me? Was worth it?
Not wanting to give up on the Grand Prismatic experience, we decided to go back to see if the view had improved now that the rain had stopped. We noticed a lot more color, but the steam had not completely gone away.
I read on a sign that extremophiles are microorganisms found in a variety of harsh environments around the world. It's these microorganisms that are responsible for the brilliant colors that line the Grand Prismatic Spring. What a lesson from nature of thriving and creating such beauty in harsh conditions. Something so spectacular that thousands travel from near and far to behold.
What's that outside your window, Lena?
Of course, we couldn't get enough watching the majestic bison and their babies, so we made some short stops along our way out of the park for the day. The meandering river along the road treated us with the most incredible views of the mountains as they rose up to kiss the sky.
Our Yellowstone experience continued with a waterfall overlook, an incredible blue hot spring pool, and some rather stinky geysers.
Elena, you would clean that toilet?
No,
Cookie would. Who's Cookie?
Guys making all the stinky smells. Smells like egg. Yeah.
this guy smells like all the stinky eggs.
Which guy?
This guy.
That guy over there?
We flung the rear door of our trusty van wide open, providing the ideal spot to rest our legs and enjoy our lunch, fueling us up for more exploration.
So that sound you hear, it's not fried bacon. That's Elena.
No, it's all this stuff bubbling.
Our mid-May vacation proved to be an ideal time to catch a few of the remaining snowy scenes which looked magnificent with the mountains as a backdrop. Due to some more rainy weather, we skipped a few areas of interest, but as it cleared, enticing views of the lake prompted us to make a stop.
How many can you skip?
We spent a decent while there skipping rocks with the kids before moving on to take some eerie shots, Charlene disappearing into a smoky geyser. As the day drew to a close, we were blessed with a majestic sunset where the hills peeked from behind the billowing clouds of steam, all while the sun transformed the sky into a colorful canvas.
The following day, our adventures led us to the Mammoth Hot Springs, where nature had sculpted a massive work of art. The travertine terraces were like frozen steps leading us to an enchanted snow castle. These magnificent formations, crafted over thousands of years, spanned far and wide. Water, in a delicate dance, trickled over the edges, seamlessly merging each terrace with another, creating the illusion of a waterfall suspended in time.
The Grand Roosevelt Arch that greets you at the north entrance of Yellowstone was a sight to behold. Fun fact, the arch was not originally intended to honor Roosevelt, but bears his name because the president happened to be vacationing in the park during its construction, and was asked to speak at the dedication ceremony. Unfortunately, he never made the trip back to see it completed. The kids enjoyed walking back and forth through each corridor, giving us a perspective of how massive the structure was in real life.
As we journeyed along the winding road, we took in the sights of Mammoth Hot Springs and the untamed wildlife that called this place home.
Oblivious to the traffic buildup, bison sauntered down the road in their own leisurely pace, undeterred by the clamor of impatient engines. A scene that encapsulates the untamed spirit of Yellowstone, where nature's original inhabitants reign supreme, and time surrenders to their majestic presence.
The bears stole the show as our favorite wildlife sightings. With anticipation in our hearts, we kept a watchful eye, eager to witness these magnificent creatures in their natural habitat. While on our drive through Lamar Valley, we spotted a small crowd forming, which is a telltale sign of a bear sighting. We pulled the van over and Joe set up his camera safely across a river, capturing shots of a couple of grizzly bears foraging on plants for their dinner.
Unprepared but intrigued by adventure, we made our way through a snow and mud-covered trail which offered incredible waterfall views. The knee-high snow was fortunately patted down by previous travelers.
After a somewhat strenuous hike, we couldn't deny that the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone was breathtaking in more ways than one.
Got to the top and look who's sleeping. Charlene. Oh, I mean Lena.
Lena is gonna get to show up in the van and not know how she got there.
What do you think of this waterfall, Carter? Was it a tough hike? It was a pretty tough hike?
Yeah, it was tough.
What was tough about it?
All the snow melts.
All the snow?
We could just walk on mud.
Oh yeah, when it's all melted then you can walk on mud?
Yeah.
That's easier than the snow?
When is all the snow gonna be gone?
I'm not sure. Pretty soon. I mean, it's really warm out today, right?
decided to head back over to Lamar Valley, where the bears are known to be most active around dawn and dusk. It didn't take us long to spot a black bear meandering up a hill, and a while later, a mama bear and her little ones. Surprisingly, she wasn't the least bit disturbed by the large crowd of people gathered nearby.
We enjoyed watching a herd of bison in the field as the sun set in the distance, warming the hazy sky to a beautiful orange glow.
We set off on our third and final visit to the famous Grand Prismatic Spring. Along the trail, we marveled at the beautiful rust-colored waterfalls, raising our hopes for a better view. Fortunately, luck was on our side. Steam was minimal and cleared enough to reveal a stunning sight. It was a truly delightful moment, where the third time proved to be a charm. I forgot to mention that there is minimal cell phone service in the park. So if you are traveling in groups like we were, it might be wise to bring along some walkie-talkies.
Wow.
We paid another visit to Old Faithful for some of the kids to collect their ranger badges before heading to the brink of the lower falls on the Yellowstone River. As we made our way, a bison crossed the road just behind us and proceeded to walk casually down the road, blocking one lane of traffic.
We finally arrived back at the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone to make the walk down the winding path to the view at the top of the falls. We were absolutely stunned at the view and the sheer power of the massive amounts of water gushing over the cliff. We spent some time admiring the view and capturing the moment.
After enjoying the waterfall, we exited the park, but our day of exploration was not over yet. We took a look around the shops in West Yellowstone. The kids were particularly fascinated by a buffalo inside one of the shops.
Get kind of boring, frankly. Now don't take offense. Us buffaloes just tell it like it is.
We left out early the next morning, deciding to detour through the park one last time.
We enjoyed the early morning sights, which included a low layer of fog and some wildlife sightings. Our drive back was pretty eventful, even spotted a pair of bald eagles having lunch. We had more playtime with the kids and, of course, ice cream.
10 out of 10 right here. Refreshing, colorful, and cold.
We also enjoyed visiting the first national monument, Devil's Tower, seeing more unique roadside attractions, and also catching sunset at Mount Rushmore.
The town of Deadwood felt like an old western movie with fun shops on the outskirts of town. We even passed by Bigfoot on the way.
We especially had to keep our eyes peeled as South Dakota had a lot of deer crossing the road.
We made a short pit stop to check out the historic dinosaur park, which unfortunately was under construction.
On the highway, we couldn't help but notice how many signs and billboards directed people towards Waldrop. Fortunately for us, that was going to be our next stop.
He got a chauffeur that's a genuine dinosaur. He's the toughest man that is alive.
Stay away from it. It's gonna bite.
Our next destination was the Badlands National Park, where adorable little prairie dogs and their young greeted us at the entrance.
The Badlands landscape features unique layered rock formations and steep canyons. We elected to explore one of the more popular trails, mostly to experience climbing up the wooden ladder leading up to a lookout point. Don't get close, Lena, just stay where Dad is.
Look at that. That's pretty.
One step at a time.
Let's go slow.
Worth it?
To make the climb. Hopefully
For the
there's
third
no.
time.
Hopefully there's no snakes up there.
Might be.
There's the breeze everyone was talking about.
Feel the breeze?
Yeah.
We saw one. Did it have a rattler?
We exited the Badlands, making our way to the next destination. We pulled off on a frontage road to get a quick view of a skeleton walking a pet skeleton dinosaur.
If driving through South Dakota, most likely you'll end up stopping at the world's only corn palace. The building is covered in murals and designs made from corn and other grains. We later found out that new designs are installed every year. Unfortunately, we could only look around inside for a short time since we arrived at closing time. What better way to end the day than cooling off at the water park inside of our hotel?
Here she goes.
This stop was something that our son Carter had been looking forward to the entire trip.
2, 3, kick and spin. Joe, how does it feel? Final leg. You got black and blue eyes.
next morning we strolled through Falls Park and enjoyed the sights. At the park, Grandma Susie noticed a tricky toad that refused to be caught, which the kids thought was especially funny.
Oh no!
We made a quick stop in Rochester, Minnesota, grabbing some takeout for lunch and finding a place to sit downtown. The kids happily splashed in the water and danced to the live music.
We made one last stop in Madison, Wisconsin, enjoying a dinner with views of the lake while the kids played on the playground.
Wow, this is
Thank you.
big ice cream
Makes a
cones.
better cone than I did back in the day. I was very bad at making ice cream cones.
Oh, look at that big one. Yes, please.
Oh, let me get.
Look at it.
I feel gypped.
Look at yours is just as big. It's just squished.
Of course, all good trips must come to an end, and we said our goodbyes to Grandma.
Grandma hug and kiss.
Bye-bye.
Then we pulled off and were happy to head to our final destination, home. When we started this video, we asked whether family road trips are still worth it.
Are you having fun so far?
After our experience, we can give a resounding yes. We find that thorough planning goes a long way, but keeping a positive attitude is the key when dealing with unexpected events, especially with kids.
We had an amazing adventure and saw places we would have missed if we had not hit the road. The memories we created will last a lifetime, and for that we feel especially blessed. Though glad to be home, we are already looking forward to the next adventure.
Subscribe to our channel to see where we are heading next.